Stabler back. Looking, going to Branch, wide open. Touchdown Raiders! Branch committed highway robbery without a gun.
Hey, what's up, Raider Nation? It's OG Jack Daniel. I'm joined by Raider Ray tonight, just chopping it up. I'm sorry, in that intro, I love that last hit on Sammy White because his helmet went that way, his mouthpiece went that way. You can't do that no more.
I was literally going to tell you that intro just fires me up. Like, where can we go grab a helmet and some shoulder pads and go play some ball? Only the Raiders have some of the most classic highlights, man.
Oh yeah, and rules set up, named after them.
Rules, yeah. What about rules?
Well, what was it? Miles, what's his name? Did he ripped off the guy's helmet and hit him with it? That's the Lyle Alzado rule.
Why can't we just go back to
that? No, man, we
ain't doing
all that. No, I want these guys to have happier lives. Hey, Sean Johnson's in the chat. What's going on, OG?
What's going on, Sean?
All's well, and hello, Ray.
What's going on, Sean?
What's up, Sean? But Sean's our stat guy. Like anything we've talked about, he'll be throwing stats in the chat. He's on point with that. Hey, Knock Andrew, what's up, man?
What's going on, Knock?
Bro? Yeah, just hanging out here with Raider Ray, and we're just chopping it up, talking about tomorrow night is like a religious holiday. We get the schedules at 8:00 Eastern.
I've seen some leaks. I don't know if they're very accurate yet, but I guess we'll come to find out tomorrow.
Right. Some of them leaks may not be legit, but I did go online and look at. There's a few games up there that are like Thursday night, the first week on Thursday Night Football, Chiefs and Chargers.
I seen that we were potentially opening up week 1 against Denver on primetime.
I don't know, because I saw a Thursday night game and I saw 2 Monday night games, and we weren't in any of those. So
all I know is
hey BL, Raiders, what's going on?
What's going on?
Raiders and Raiderettes, yeah, that's the chat. There you go. Hey Al, this is Raider Ray hanging with me. We're just like shooting the shit. So what do you think, man, about the schedule situation? Like, what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking for the primetime games. That's what I'm looking for. I think the Raiders are on just such a come up that it's not going to surprise me. We get the Josh McDaniels, we get the Devontae Adams. There's a lot of buzz going on in the AFC West. The AFC West is one of the most popular divisions, probably the best division in football right now. So look for a lot of these teams to land some primetime games, and that's what I'm looking for. Is when do we get to watch the Raiders on primetime? The bigger the lights,
the AFC West is going to get a lot of prime time.
The entire division is going to. You're right, and I think against each other too.
And you think about especially against each other. But there's going to be some big games, like the AFC West versus Buffalo, or AFC West versus any other really good teams, the Rams. You know what I mean? Like where I don't think we're playing Buffalo this year, but you know what I mean? Stuff like that where we're going to be slotted in there. Yeah, that's schedule, man.
I want to see the New England Patriots and the Raiders hit a primetime game. I think that would be pretty interesting. Maybe out in Vegas, get that at primetime.
Yeah, well, it'd be fun to beat them up.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's going to be an epic season. I'll tell you one thing right now. It's going to be a really great season.
Out of every season, man, this is the build-up going. Usually, Raider Nation does a really good job building up the hype of every football season, even when, let's be honest, we're not a very good football team. Now we are a really good football team, and it's like the hype train is just picked up.
Yeah, see, and the hype thing, last year I did the hype thing. And you know what? Because that's when I started this past summer, was doing as a content creator. And I was telling people before the season, I'm looking at stuff, who our opponents are, we're going to the playoffs. And, we'll be lucky to be 7 and whatever. And everybody was saying it, but we went to the playoffs. And this year we're going to go deep into the playoffs.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, we need to be making a serious run.
Hey, Docs. Hey, love you too, brother. Hey,
Hey, what's going
Docs,
on, Doc?
This is Raider Ray, man. This guy knows his stuff. Young guy. He's on point with his analysis of a lot of these players, man. Um, but yeah, good to see you, Docs, man. It's been a while, bro.
Hey,
My work
Doc.
schedule is crazy. So yeah, Docs, this is Raider Ray. And yeah, he's a new content creator, but he's getting a fast grow. People like his
Hey,
stuff. I
shout
love his
out,
stuff.
shout out to Docs, man. I've been watching a lot of your content as well. Looking forward to hopefully in the future collaborating with you. I love what you do for the Raider Nation, and yeah, man, I appreciate everything that you do for the nation, all the content you put out.
So I know you're going to be putting out a video on the UDFAs, right? Coming up soon.
Yep.
Getting ready to drop
Yep.
one. Okay. Don't give us anything big. Just a little hint. We'll get just a hint of what you think about one of the ones in the middle of the pack.
Let's see here. There's a few of them, right? The new running back that we picked up. He's actually a noisemaker. He's a kind of one of those smaller shiftier backs. We did invite. This is updated information. Not a lot of people understand this, but we also got an invite for a Michigan State linebacker. Last name is Fisher, and this guy's an aggressive linebacker, sideline to sideline guy, gets his nose in the run game, and not afraid to lay a hit. Like I said, my favorite one, honestly, is
No,
Zach.
no, 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 no. That's it. I just want a
Oh,
little hint, man. No, you
okay,
got to save this for
okay,
your show,
okay,
bro. It was just a little
okay.
hint. That's all I wanted. Yeah,
Don't get me
Docs, man.
talking.
Docs, if you can get him on your show, man, this guy really knows his stuff. He's a good guy. And like I said, newer content creator. Yeah, it's called Raider Ray. Sean
Yep, you can
Johnson.
find me Raider Ray. Just search the channel name, you'll find me.
It's real simple. It's that right there under his name, Raider Ray. And yeah, and if you're not subscribed to Raider Ray, go over and check out his channel. I'm telling you, content's highly intelligent, really in depth, and I love just listening to this guy. Sorry, I know you're
No,
younger.
you're good.
You gotta be a lot younger. You gotta be a lot younger,
Yep,
right?
Sincere McCormick. That's the running back I'm teling you about. I'm going to keep it a
I've
little bit quiet.
heard about him. Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
hearing about him. Little things about him. I don't know, man. This ought to be interesting. And he plays. He's a running back.
Yep, he's a running back, smaller, shiftier guy. The whole thing is, though, is just look at how crowded this running back room is. It's the most crowded running back room in the entire league. So these guys come preseason, you're going to see some nasty play out of these running backs because everybody's going to be fighting tooth and nail to get on this roster.
Oh yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, because we've got only we have more running backs than the Chargers have fans.
That didn't take much.
Serious.
I think we could release a few and still have more.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so yeah, Raider Ray, go over, subscribe to his channel, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna love the content he's putting out there, and he's gonna start doing some live soon too. We've been talking, and yeah, I'll come on anytime you want, bro.
Yeah, brother. You always have an open door. You gave me my first opportunity, so I'm a loyal guy. So your
man,
arms
you gave you your first opportunity. It was impressive, and it's like, wow, more people need to see this guy. That's all. So
right.
no,
I
you
appreciate
did that.
brother.
I just noticed and gossiped.
But we're here now.
Yeah, we're here now. Now we're only on for a short time tonight. We're only going to be on until 7 Eastern because there's 2 other content creators out there that are going to be doing shows, and I try not to step on nobody's toes when they're in. You know what I mean? And so you get your choice. You can go see Cap Jack, or you can go see Raiders Fan Radio. I love both shows, so I'm probably going to have them both on, bouncing back and forth. Hey, Jack Kenna, how you doing, man?
Jack, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
Hey, Jack. You know what? Here, let me. You know what I haven't done, because I mean we're doing a short show. Let me put the link in the chat. See if anybody else wants to come chop up with us. But dude, I'm telling you, tomorrow is like a religious holiday for me. When that schedule comes out, I'll start going, okay, and start looking at who making my picks of who we're gonna beat. I understand AFC West is point flip because everybody got better.
Well, what are you doing tomorrow? Are you gonna go live?
No. Everybody's gonna be going live tomorrow. I'm gonna stay clear of it. Sit down, not listen to any content, and just look at the picks and make my own decisions, and not without listening to anyone else. And hey, hello, Pono, how you doing, man? So,
Hey, what's going on?
yeah. So, and then because sometimes if I listen to other people, they influence me. You know what I mean?
You're
So I
right.
want to come on and do one, and I'll probably miss some points that were brought up, but that's fine. I'll go back and watch everybody's later. Go, oh yeah, I didn't think of that. You know what I mean? That's the way I do it. Hey, anybody want to jump in and chop it up with us? There's the link in the chat. Let's see. Hey, everybody's saying hi to each other in the chat. This is cool. That's what it's like. This is like a family
That's
barbecue.
what it's like, man. This is what Raider
Yeah.
Nation's all about, man. Chop it up, y'all. We love it.
Hey, Richard. Good to talk to you, man. Good to see you. But he won't get off work for another 20 minutes. I see. Yeah, we don't want to get you fired, man. But yeah, man. It's hey, what's going on, Big Daddy? Just in here chopping it up with Raider Ray. And this is, like I said, this is like a family barbecue. Everybody's moving around, talking to each other and stuff. It's great, man. Salute to the family.
I'm sure that you
love that.
I'm sure you've seen in a lot of Raiders content community. I even made a video about it, posted it last night about James Bradbury's situation.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Well, let me get your opinion first before we dive into it a little bit.
At first, I didn't like the idea, and then I thought about it. And if we get him, we go into a zone situation. Yeah, throw him in there. But I don't like his man-to-man. I do not like his man coverage. It's like he gets burned sometimes, and we can't afford that. Hey, what's up?
So I was going through some film, right, about his man coverage ability, because that's what, I like to view players at their weakness that everybody's kind of talking about. So something to connect the dots with his man coverage ability. As we all know, rushing coverage works together. The New York Giants football team struggled actually mightily at spurts throughout the entire season of generating pass rush. That went huge, not only for James Bradbury, but that entire secondary. So I took my opinion and I kind of dialed it in a little bit, and I started digging a little bit further, right? And so I went down to see how he matched up with top 10 wide receivers in the National Football League. And come to find out, he was actually ranked 9th in the 2021 season.
Really?
That ties with Denzel Ward. That's ahead of corners like Jimmy Ward, Xavier Howard, AJ Terrell. So these are some notable names. Now, I know a lot of Raider Nation was chopping up about, look, I don't want to go overpay for the guy. And I think that we tend to get a mindset. We have this contract mindset of like, it almost feels like it takes like 2 to 3 seasons to catch up, right? So when a cornerback is getting paid 10 plus million, off the top of the head, you're like, look, that's a lot of money. Until I started doing some research, in 20 corners, 20 in the National Football League have an average salary of $10 million. So is James Bradbury a top 20 corner in the National Football League? I would say he is. So if we're looking at a 2-year deal with a void year in between, would you give this guy a 2-year, $22 million deal with a void year on the back of it? That way, and I made it in my new video, and I encourage you guys to go check out the new video about James Bradbury. We don't have to go back too far to the 2021 season when Gus Bradley was hired as defensive coordinator. And who did he bring in? A corner that was having a down year from the Chargers by the name of Casey Hayward. And look what he did. He brought up these young kids. He taught them the defense. He gave them verbiage. And I just see that happening with James Bradbury. There's film of James Bradbury chopping it up with the defensive backs in the backfield, asking them questions pre-play. Like, look, if they give us this look, what are you going to do? And I find that fascinating when you get players like that are coaches on the field. So the money, all that, look, at this point in free agency, if you can go get a good football player, go get a good football player, because we're in a unique situation that we're getting $20 million post June 1st. Not many football teams are in that position. The Derek Carr contract was built to go and win now, and to be able to go and get players when these opportunities come up. So if a good player hits the market, say a Nelson Aguilar hits the market, a James Bradbury hits the market, go get a good football player in the middle of June. I'm just, sometimes money, we tend to think that it's our money. You know what I mean? We tend to start thinking like it's coming out of my pocket. Look, I don't care. Go get good football players, add them to the roster, and let it all play out.
Okay, so when are we supposed to sign Hunter Renfrow?
See, all that has been, I think all that was in agreement, right, with Derek Carr was doing his contract. I believe all that
Right.
was put on the table. You got to think Waller is under contract for the next 2 years. Do I think he needs a pay raise? Yeah, of course I do. But if you're looking at bringing in good players now, Darren Waller is under contract. And don't get me wrong, Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow will get their contracts. Just because he's due for an extension now doesn't mean that they have to do it now. All that means is
Right.
that they're fully committed. I do think that they're fully committed. So expect Hunter Renfrow to get a contract. Expect Darren Waller to get a contract. That does not mean that it hinders us from going and getting a good football player if we want to go get him.
I see. That's a good analysis. That's why I like talking with you, man, because you look deeper into this. You do a lot more investigating, and it's like this is why you got fire content. Let's see. Hasn't done no stupid contracts. I trust the contracts they give future players. Yeah, you know what, Sean,
Exactly.
you're right. I don't need Reggie
Yeah.
McKenzie to clean up a mess again, and that's good. You know.
And look, they got out of some bad contracts. They got out of the Nick Kwiatkowski contract. I know they brought him in for a visit this week, but they got rid of the Corey Littleton. They got rid of the Carl Nassib, and we're going to eat some of that money in dead cap space this season. But what they did is they freed up the bad contracts, and now we have some money to play with. And Derek Carr signed arguably the best contract in all of sports. So he signed that contract in order to do things like this. The Las Vegas Raiders, make no mistake about it, are built to go out and get good football players and build it around Derek Carr.
And Derek Carr already got his bag. Now he's playing the Tom Brady game. I'll take a pay cut.
Yep.
Keep him. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
And you got to love it because he doesn't have to do that.
Okay, we got weapons on offense, but if the O-line stinks and teams pressure the crap out of Carr, the weapons won't matter. That's true, Big Shane, but we've got depth on that line now. And these guys are confident that they can do something with the players we got. I'm going to put my trust in them because so far, man, these guys ain't steered us wrong. That's just where I'm at with it. I mean,
not only Big Shane is you're right. We do need a good offensive lineman. Everybody does. You've seen what the Bengals did last season, though, and gets all the way to the Super Bowl with probably arguably one of the worst lines in football. What I'm intrigued about is that we've adapted from the zone blocking scheme, which did not fit our players. That was a Tom Cable scheme, kind of like Gruden. You either fit my scheme. I'm not changing what I like to do for you. And that's what I like about this new power gap scheme is this offensive line is built to put its paws on people and move people into the backfield to get into the second level. So the power scheme is in Las Vegas now. So look for this scheme to be simplified and players to do what they actually are good at.
Let's see. OG, read up on my Bradbury question. Let me go back up. Jack, hold on. Scrolling. Where do you guys rank Bradbury on the depth chart if the Raiders sign him?
CB1. I mean, let's face it. Trayvon Mullen hasn't proved that he could stay healthy, and I'm a huge Trayvon Mullen supporter. I love the kid. I loved him when we grabbed him in the second round. I knew he was going to be a starter his rookie season at some point. I love him, but the fact of the matter is he hasn't proved it with his health. Rock Ya-Sin is a CB2. Anthony Everett is a CB2. Nate Hobbs, there's word that he might flex outside at times this season, which I'd be intrigued to see. But the fact of the matter is none of them are a clear-cut CB1. What is fact is that James Bradbury is a top 20 corner in the league. So if he comes in, I do see immediately he's going to be a starting corner and he's going to be CB1 on this roster.
But we have 17 offensive linemen competing for the best starting five. Wow. That's some serious depth. That's some serious depth.
You got to give it to this front office. The areas of weakness, they've revamped. When I look at the free agent list, it's almost mind-boggling how many good players we've brought in. Like, it doesn't even make sense. With power blocking.
We're two tight end sets with power blocking. Most of our O-line will help with that scheme.
Yep.
Yeah, I believe that. Oh, we got to do it. 1, 2, 3.
Love it, boy. I love it.
Yeah. When a Raiders fan yell out Raiders fans gotta reply. You just got
Oh, You got to give it
All right,
love
let's
to him.
see. If this new coaching staff could get John Simpson to a beast, I would love it. I mean, you never know, man. Like I said, these different guys are going to shine in this scheme. Different guys are going to shine.
John
And,
Simpson's going to have to earn it. Now he does fit the power scheme a lot better than what he did the zone blocking scheme, and that goes for a lot of these guys. Guys like Denzel Good. You go down pretty much our entire guard room. We have big body guards. I honestly, I know a lot of people are worried about the offensive line. I'm actually okay with it. With as much talent as we've brought in on all levels of this entire roster, I'm okay with where we're at. I'm okay with letting it play out. And come the trade deadline, come training camp, when roster cuts and say a good player is on a bad team and wants out, then let's look to make a move then if we have to. Right now, continue to stack and add good depth.
Right, wait till these guys go Goodwill instead of Walmart, right?
You're right.
Okay, I'm hoping undrafted safety from UNC. Yeah, okay. Yeah, makes the roster. I mean, you never know, man. We've picked up some great UDFAs in our time. You remember that old the safety Eric Allen?
Yeah.
He's a UDFA. He was a UDFA. We've gotten good UDFAs.
The Raiders do a great job at bringing in UDFAs, honestly, almost sometimes better than they were doing their draft picks. That's kind of sad to say.
Well, I mean, yeah, like our fullback who went to Florida.
Alec Ingold.
Yeah, Alec
I know.
Ingold.
He was a Raider.
Sentimental. He scored the first touchdown in Vegas, you know?
Yeah.
So got that sentimentality going, but I know it's a business. So it's like, got to cut that out of it and just roll with what's going on. So everybody's saluting each other. Everybody's, yeah. Oh, yeah, he wants the nephew, Palomalu's nephew in there too. Yeah, EA was Raider legend, you know? And don't get it wrong. Jalen Richard was a little bit overpaid, but Jalen Richard was probably one of the best damn blocking running backs. I mean,
yeah,
let's be real. The game against the Jets, everybody's like Derek Carr to Henry Ruggs. Richard made that happen. Richard.
Yeah, that cover zero blitz. I remember watching that live. I could not believe that happened.
Yeah.
That whole everything about the whole season was just kind of wild, really.
The season was a mess, dude. This past year was a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, John Simpson is good in a power scheme, not a zone scheme. And this is why our O-line is going to be a lot better than you're thinking, man. Let's see. Hey, Robert Pena. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Just hanging in here, chopping it up. I posted the link in the chat for anybody who wants to come in and hang out with us. We're only going to be on for about 40 more minutes. Let's see. These comments are flying. Our new fullback, Jacob Johnson's going to be good for us. Yeah, he blocks good. Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah, I like him a lot. He came from New England with Josh McDaniels. He was the starting fullback last season. He is a good lead blocker. That's what I really like about his game. Hopefully he can develop in the pass game a little bit. He could be a little bit sneaky with his hands. But I really love that signing too. We do have Sutton Smith, though, that he's going to be competing against. So, honestly, whoever competes and earns that spot is who I want starting at fullback for our team.
Oh, we got someone else in the. Hello?
What's up, OG? It's Raider Cortez.
Hey, Raider Cortez. What's going on, man?
What's going on, Raider Cortez?
What's good? I leave in like 8 days, OG.
Where you going?
To do my mom's celebration of life, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. Yeah. That's in 8 days, yeah. Man, hey. Wow. So, yeah, man. And you know, my condolences again, man.
Yeah,
I know
bro. I appreciate you, OG.
Huh?
I appreciate you for everything. You know that, bro.
I know, man. It's just, you know, condolences and, you know, the story you told of, you know, how you guys didn't even know and it was a surprise. It was like, you know. But Jalen Richard's first NFL carry was a long time. Yeah, it was like a 75-yard touchdown.
Yep, in New Orleans.
Yep, that was against the Saints.
Yep, in New Orleans.
And I worked at the time with a guy who was a Saints fan. He wouldn't talk to me all day.
That game was awesome. That's when we
Oh
rolled up for
yeah,
the dice, went for 2 for the win.
come
Like
from
that set the
behind.
whole tone. It set the whole tone for that whole 2016 season.
Yep.
Oh yeah, John Ritchie was great at blocking, man. I remember that watching that. Oh, I was a fan of John Ritchie, big time.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah, and I
see.
finally got my Devontae Adams jersey. OG.
Oh,
Oh, that's nice.
that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I got it from Raider Image in Las Vegas. I got a shirt
Wow.
from the one at the stadium.
Is it pretty clean?
Yeah, black. It's all black.
Oh
It's
yeah.
black with the yeah.
Yeah, I would never buy a white jersey.
No, I'm gonna
I spill too much. I spill too much, man. That thing would
I'm
look like
gonna buy
caramel.
a Chandler Jones white one because I'm gonna take that when I go to Seattle to piss off all the Seahawks fans.
That's that's cool.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Oh. So yeah, well, we were discussing a lot of these guys and these UDFA's and stuff, and there's but I think the offensive line I think is going to improve this year. I really do.
Hey, I have a question for both of you guys. You guys think Farrell is better than Bilal Nichols? I think he is. I believe he is.
So here's my take. Pass rushing, no. Neil Farrell is going to be the Jonathan Hankins replacement. He's going to be a
Yep.
big body guy who can stuff the run, and I really love that about his game. I think year one he's going to come in and fill that need immediately. He's going to be a run stuffer. He's going to be in on early downs. Do I think
nose tackle?
Do I think he's better than Bilal Nichols at this point? No, I don't actually. I think he has potential, but starting off in the Bilal Nichols is the type of guy that can get you 5, 6, 7, 8 sacks in a season. So that's what the Raiders have been missing. It's been a long time since we've had a pass rusher in the middle. So
Which
the
Farrell
fact
are
that
you talking about?
Neil
Neil,
rookie.
okay.
Out of
Okay.
LSU. But yeah, that's
Okay.
my take, dude. I don't think he offers the pass rush that Bilal Nichols offers.
I think we're gonna have a lot of rotating defensive tackles coming in and out, and I think you're gonna have to adjust your game for every one of them. And if you got where's the quarterback hates pressure coming from the most? The middle, and we're gonna be able to. There's gonna be pressure from everywhere.
That and they do play two different positions, so I mean, there's going to be times where they're on the field together at the same time. So I'm not worried about
Doesn't
who's
Matthew
better.
Butler plays Bilal Nichols position, doesn't he?
Yep. You're going to get a rotational. You're going to get a good solid rotation. Keep those guys fresh.
Yep, coming in at different guys almost every other play, and you're gonna have guys out there just. It's gonna be hard to stop this defense. And think of the guys we got on the outside too. We also got Malcolm Kuntz out there, and then you might see Cleve Farrell play some defensive end. And then who's the other guy we picked up? I really like the guy too.
There's Fackrell that could come off the edge. He's the exact same as Chandler Jones. They're both outside linebackers technically.
Right. So you're going to see these guys going like crazy out there.
I'm telling you, when we get lined up in 3-4, this defense is set to do so many multiple things, and there's so many names outside of the starters. So outside of Chandler and Max, and I'm looking at these guys like Malcolm Kuntz and Fackrell, and dude, I was even thinking this today. You know how Cleve Farrell was struggling with gaining weight, and they're always wanting to put on more weight. What if Cleve comes in a little bit leaner, and at times you have him standing up, hand not in the dirt, and he's coming off the edge as strictly a pass rusher and a run stuffer, not asking him to cover, but getting another pass rusher involved. What's unique about this defense is it's so versatile. Like, I love everything that Patrick Graham can do. It's so creative, and we have depth. Guys like Diablo and Malcolm Kuntz and Fackrell, and these guys can rush the passer.
And do not forget, and then plus that we got Kenny Young now, and we got
solid.
Right.
And we got Kenny Young. We got Kazir White, Kamara, or I forget how to pronounce his first name.
Well, also
Hey,
we got
And then Brown.
Just comment, guys. It says great show, G Fire content, Ray. Where do you rank this defense? I'm not ranking the defense until the cuts are done after training camp.
And how do you guys feel if we play New England first week of the season, Sunday night?
Yeah, we kind of talked about that.
Yeah.
So if it's week 1, I don't think it's going to be week 1. I was also hearing things about Denver being a primetime game, but look, I love the New England matchup. If it's week 1 and it's on a primetime game, you're going to get some extreme ratings. And look, I'm excited. That matchup is just something that everybody's going to tune in to watch. How does Josh McDaniels go against Bill Belichick, and how does he do?
And I think, to be honest, I think Belichick's going to be the one calling the plays on offense because they really don't have a offensive coordinator now.
Yeah, but that's crazy because Belichick's a defensive guy.
But Belichick knows offense too.
Raider Joe, just up to Raider Ray. I sent him his page out to others to support his channel. Nice.
Wow. I appreciate that, Sean. I appreciate that a lot. Sub to the channel so we can chop it up some.
Anybody can put the link in the chat for Raider Ray's channel. That'd be fire.
All right, Richard.
Hey, Richard. Much love. Sorry I couldn't want to stay and talk, but I'm out in the middle
See you,
of
brother. Take care.
All right, take care, Richard. Haven't seen Richard in a while.
Yeah, Richard comes on, man. Sometimes he's working, and he comes on once in a while.
He usually jumps on the Discord with us at night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we also forgot about Denzel Perryman, who had 154 tackles for us. I just read that for Sean, and how do we forget about that? Like, the guy is oh, what's going on, Jack?
Hey, Jack,
did our Giants win today?
What's going on, brother?
Oh, no, I just got off of work just a couple minutes ago.
I think I seen them up 5-1.
Sweet. Love it.
Yeah. Yep.
And when you guys were talking about Belichick, he's done it before. So he has called the plays in New England. So he can do it. And it doesn't seem like there's any rush for them to sign an OC. So maybe he doesn't see something out there he likes.
No. And I don't know what background Judge has, the senior assistant that they have now back with them. Wasn't he a special teams coach? Who knows? He may be helping them with plays too.
No, Joe Judge has called plays before in his career. So I think that's going to be a collaborative effort. I don't think they need a guy, essentially. I don't think they need they might put a face and a title on a guy, maybe a quarterback coach that they promote, but I don't think that New England is the type of system that they really need an expert to come in, which I really think Josh McDaniels, there's times where Josh McDaniels didn't even call plays. There's been players that have openly come out and said that, is that Josh McDaniels not at all times called all the plays. So Bill Belichick knows what he's doing. He's a smart football mind. And that's why I'm real curious to see what Josh McDaniels does. Like I said, we talked about it the last live, is you can tell that Josh McDaniels has brought good football minds to put around him, a really good defensive coordinator. You go down all the staff, even the linebacker coaches, O-line coach, the running back room. He's brought in true professionals so he can just focus on the offense. And I think he's going to get in Derek Carr's back pocket, and they're going to create this thing to be what Derek Carr is good at. So hopefully we see a lot more spread. I'd love to see a lot more spread offense.
Because I used to watch Carr from Fresno State. That's where I'm originally from. So I'm going to be going back.
Oh, okay.
And I used to always see him run that spread with Devontae.
Well, I think if you spread these defenses out, I mean, I see why Gruden went a lot of I formation, because at the time, especially when Gruden first got here, we just didn't have the weapons on the outside to spread everybody out. The defense, they weren't really worried about it. Now, when you got guys like Waller and Devontae and Hunter and look out, because if the Raiders can go get a guy like Nelson Aguilar or some of these guys that we've talked about, pick your poison, because you start spreading these guys out, it's going to be hard to defend and cover this team.
Yeah.
When you look at it too, McDaniels, Carr's the perfect type of quarterback for what he likes to do. You look at the quarterbacks. You look at Tom Brady. You look at the kid they drafted this last year in the first round.
Matt Jones.
It's Carr fits the same type of build, as these other guys. And at the same time, Carr's got a photographic memory. So,
Yeah.
so I think I can see Carr calling it, like he called a lot of his own plays last year. So he would check off, and especially after John was gone, Carr had his hands in all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, now obviously I'm not talking about legacy. Clearly Tom Brady has a better legacy than Derek Carr, but where they're at right now in their career, do you take Derek Carr over Tom Brady, and do you see Derek Carr as an upgrade for Josh McDaniels?
I think, Derek Carr is going to be a scheme sort of like he was with Jack Del Rio, that kind of ball. And if that's the case, you're looking at MVP numbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right now, in the way they fit their career, with Derek Carr's contract and Tom Brady, every year going, he may be out the door. I'd rather have a guy that's going to be here and knows good for a long time versus rolling the dice after one season with one player that every year is progressing in age. And he's the GOAT. There's a reason why he's the GOAT. Yep. But I'm looking at it more of long term than just one season.
Yeah,
and I think Carr could do things that Brady can't do now. Carr can still push it down. Carr can push it down the field. Brady, you can't get that 40, 50-yard throw out of him anymore.
Well,
and I feel if Carr gets a Super Bowl, he could be into the Hall of Fame with a couple Super Bowls. Just with
if he takes the Raiders to the Super Bowl, he's going to the Hall of Fame, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he gets a couple, 2 or 3 of them, he's definitely going.
No, one at least one could get him in, I think.
2 or 3 will get
John,
him in.
I'm glad you brought it up. Jayon Brown. Dude, this was a sneaky underrated signing for me. This is a guy that I've been quiet about because I want to watch more than I want to talk. Jayon Brown is going to be a plug-and-play awesome starting linebacker for the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm extremely excited.
And do you guys want to know what's funny? Kenny Young, Brown, and Colton Miller all played together with Andre James at UCLA.
Yep.
They all played together.
Daniel and Ziegler were trying to get Derek Carr last year.
Mm-hmm.
And this is out now. And I think John Gruden laughed and hung up.
Oh, I'm sure he did. You know what's funny? I'm gonna circle back because I couldn't get on quick enough for this. We talked about playing against New England. Wouldn't it just be awesome? Because I know OG, you keep talking dynasty now. Wouldn't that be great? We've set the tone and beat the crap out of them and set the tone for our own new dynasty.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Hey,
I'm thinking like a 31-10 game.
What's up, Gabe?
What's up,
Gabe?
What's going on?
What's up, brother?
What's cracking?
Nothing much, just chilling.
Just talking about what's coming up, the schedule, UDFAs, strategies, how we're looking.
Yeah, man. Shit. I'll just think getting out of work. I saw you guys on, so I was like, shit, let me go see how my OGs are doing, man. Look at Jack and OG.
Yeah, and this guy up above here is Raider Ray, new content creator, but real fire.
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye out, man. Hey, man, he knows his shit. And what up, Cortez?
What up? How do you know it's me?
To him, man.
Because it says Raider Nightmare.
I saw one video, and I went, okay, that was good. So I went and watched another one. I'm like, subscribe, notifications, the whole damn thing. I'm like, I think you got to know about this guy, man. So if you're not subscribed, man. Trying to get our brother to 200, right?
Hey, subscribe to all these guys, nation.
We
get great content everywhere here.
200 today.
Broke 200 today. Nice.
Nice, bro. I'm about to start my own channel soon, like in a month.
What, Cortez? What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Cortez, Raiders, Giants channel, right?
And Warriors. I got to throw in them dubs.
Oh shit, man! You make me not want to subscribe, man. Fuck.
Hey, bro, my first guest is gonna be Cool Kev.
Oh shit!
That's my brother.
It's gonna be the desert
Dry
show.
Cool Kev.
The desert show.
The Cactus Dry Cool Kev.
Hey, that's a good point, Sean Johnson. I actually see some blowouts, wins this year, which is going to be something we haven't seen in a long time. Yeah, I don't see as many close games and coming back in the fourth quarter. But if we have to, we can. You got give Derek Carr a minute and a half and that ball, and we're going to win.
I think that's going to be a big difference this year, guys. I really do. What you just said, OG. I mean, every year it's like we've been like just like the last. It's all within 2 minutes of who's going to win, who's going to lose. I think this is finally the year we're going to see some games. We're going to put some space between us and the team we're playing against.
Yeah, but know this though: if we are in a close one, we know we can win. Oh, yeah. Raider game got that T-Mobile internet going on.
Well, that's the difference between a very good quarterback, great quarterback, so-so quarterback. It always comes to the last 2 minutes. It comes to the red zone. And, we've been struggling at the red zone, with our offense, but McDaniels is a top 5 coach in the red zone offense. Now we got Devontae. I mean, the weapons are all in place to really excel and exceed tremendously in all these situations.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, a great quarterback can carry his team on his shoulders. And Derek Carr proved last year that he's a great quarterback.
He's been proving that for years. That's nothing new. That's the thing about Derek Carr. That's one of the things you got to love about DC is that he's the guy you can count on, to do those type of things. But you got to have the right pieces in place.
Yeah, but which we do. Here it was a freaking tragedy after tragedy after tragedy, and he still carried the team through.
That's what blows my mind about DC is.
As you guys all being Raiders fans, and you guys, you guys all watch other shows and listen to stuff, go back to like all the DC, bashing and everything else. But after this season's been over, after with John,
I gotta go.
And Ruggs,
I'll talk to you guys later.
Hey,
all right,
Freddie Cortez. Salute, brother.
Salute.
Good seeing you, man. But look at what he did this year. The chat's quiet on DC. There ain't no more DC bashing anymore. It's crickets, which I'm glad.
You got to be grateful for what you had. We kind of touched it last week when we had somebody coming out against Carr saying like, "Oh, if only the Raiders had a good quarterback." Not many quarterbacks in the National Football League, if any. Okay, because let's all face it, the man that Derek Carr is off of the field really came to fruition with everything that happened on the field last season. This is a guy who carries himself. It's faith, family, and football. And this guy just held this locker room together. No other quarterback, in my opinion, that went through what the Raiders went through last season would have held this team together. They would have quit on the coaching staff. They would have quit on each other. They would have quit on DC. And even in the Indianapolis Colts game, I was there live. And you get Derek Carr. Really, everybody knows he's going to Hunter Renfrow. The defensive know this. Waller's out. Renfrow is really the only viable option outside of Zay Jones. And what does DC do? Game is on the line. It's 4th down. He steps up in the pocket, evades Darius Leonard, hits Hunter Renfrow with a beautiful pass. I mean, Derek Carr is the most clutch quarterback when there's 2 minutes on the clock. I'll take DC over any quarterback in the league.
And it, just to put the icing on the cake on that, Ray, is you look at Renfrow. It's like when he was the only one out there, and everyone know they're going to Renfrow. He caught 80% of his catches last year, 80%, and everyone knew they're going to Renfrow. So, yeah. Honestly, their chemistry is absolutely amazing.
Hunter Renfrow has been one of my favorite receivers, but the problem is I don't think that, and I might take some heat for this from you guys. I don't think Hunter Renfrow is the guy that you want getting 100 catches a season. And that's what's mind-blowing about this, is that this guy did it with a guy like Hunter Renfrow in the slot. You know the ball's going to Hunter, and yet you still can't stop it. Like, what are they going to do when Devontae Adams rolls into town? What are they going to do with a healthy Waller? What are they going to do when they can't load the boxes up anymore? And Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake and all these running backs are just smash-mouth football. Like, this is the most hype going into a season offensively that we've had in a long, long time.
And I agree with you. You don't want Renfrow to be the guy to get 100 catches just for the simple fact because his routes are short. They're not deep routes. You're not blowing the top off the defense with him, but he's consistent and he gets the job done. That's why he's got the nickname Third and Renfrow. It's like, he gets enough to get us that chain moving. Let's keep going.
Yeah, especially when you got Adams on the same team. that especially that's when you don't want him to be getting the one getting 100 catches. But he is also like a Wes Walker type, so he can mount up catches in a hurry, man. Because he's a dependable guy, and he's always open. But you haven't seen him. You haven't seen Devontae Adams on the other side, and it's just, man, I don't know what they're gonna do to cover these two guys. And
Well,
then you got
what's
Waller.
impressive, what's impressive is that Waller was doing all this with him being the number one option on the team. You look at teams like Tyreek Hill with Travis Kelce, and you look at George Kittle with Debo Samuel and Curtis Samuel, like all these players, and Darren Waller was doing it without a legit number one. Now you've got Devontae, and now like I don't think the league understands the opportunity that Darren Waller is now going to have. I think Darren Waller is going to explode on the scene.
Yeah, that's exactly the word
But
I was going to use.
you had to have the time to respect Rudd's speed, and so you would have to. When they put him down the field, you're going to have to bring a safety over on him, to help cover the guy because he's so fast. True, he didn't get the time to develop into a true number one, but you did have to respect that speed.
Brian Edwards had a good year too.
I'm hoping.
He's going to be a breakout player.
I
believe he's going to. Oh, you said talk about breakouts. He's going to be a breakout. He's going to be one-on-one every single time.
Well, there's going to be so many one-on-ones, man, because you can't. There's going to be a lot of guys are going to eat this year, like just like little on the side, man. Like even Demarcus Robinson, which who knows if he might even make the team, but Demarcus Robinson, we got. Also, still got back to receiver.
We got Brian.
Well, they got him, and they got the guy with the long hair from Miami.
I know you got Edwards. Oh yeah. You got for sure. What's his name? Holland or
yeah.
But for sure, man. These guys, fuck, man. We're just gonna. I don't see any defense matching up with us like top to bottom. I don't see any defense that can match up with us.
No. So what would you think that? Okay, so if Nelson Aguilar gets released from the Patriots, could you imagine if we bring in Nelson Aguilar at a number 2? Then what?
He's already familiar. Yeah, he's already familiar with Carr. Yep.
Already familiar. Had his best season with Derek Carr. Like, I mean, speaking of Derek Carr, what's good?
Hey, Raphael. What's going on, man?
What's up, DC? Raphael?
America right now.
Yeah, you know what? Like I said, you're a defensive coordinator. Okay, who do we got? The Raiders. Shit.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, the guy's name is Matt Collins. That's it.
I have a question for my brother Gabe. Gabe, you got to go to Las Vegas. How was it, brother?
Hold on. I can't. I'm breaking it right now. Hold on. I'll tell you right now.
Oh my
get back.
God.
Got that T-Mobile network. So yeah, the guy we paid, that other receiver is Matt Collins. That's it.
This wide receiver room's kind of sneaky deep. I do think there's room for another body, though. I really do. That's why my eyes are still on Nelson. And look, they might not release him, but man, I'm telling you, I just got this hunch that they're not going to want to pay him. It's $14 million, and he got 498 receiving yards last year. Typically, when you look at New England, they move on from contracts like this. So,
yep.
Nelson Aguilar is a guy that be patient and let's just see what happens, really.
I agree. I agree bringing him back, but when he got that contract, at the time I was like, the door's open and the door's gonna be shut as soon as you walk out that door because you know what? There's no way I wanted the Raiders to pay him that type of cash. That's for sure.
No.
Got him in bag in New England. He went to New England.
And once he gets released, he's not going to have this huge market that's going to pay him $10 million a season. You're going to get him on another team-friendly deal like we did the first time, and that's what I like. I love the value, and I think he would love to come back with DC. Let's be honest, DC got him paid. DC got Nelson Aguilar paid. So look for Nelson Aguilar to want to come back and have a career year again. And look, if Nelson would have caught everything thrown to him, and don't forget, he didn't start until like week 4 or 5, and he finished with 896 yards. And if he would have caught the balls that was thrown his way, you're looking at well over 1,000-yard season, and he finished this season with 8 touchdowns. So That's a solid number 2. That's a solid number 2.
Well, he's also going to want to look at it in his way. He has no problem with walking out the door. He knows if he wants to get paid again, go play with DC.
Well, he knows if I want to go win some football games, look at what Las
That
Vegas
too.
is doing. He's looking on the other side of him and saying, "Oh, Devontae Adams is getting doubled. I'm 1-on-1, no safety over the top with me." Like everything is kind of making sense.
Ain't nobody can catch me anyway.
No,
because he's a speed guy.
Like we get Nelly, bro. We get Nelly. Yeah, just like King said, dude, we get Nelly, it's a wrap. Not just because Nelly's just an all-pro player. It's just what he would bring to the offense. He can stretch the field. You have to allocate to him. You can't double everybody. You can't double Renfro. You can't double Waller. You can't double Devontae all game. Like, pick your poison with this wide receiver room. Pick your poison with this offense.
Yeah, this wide receiver room is deep. And yeah, if we get Nelly, game over. I like that.
And Richard, you're right. You got to remember, it takes time for these receivers to develop. So you got to remember that Edwards was hurt pretty much the whole first year. So he missed that time. It takes receivers, 2-3 years sometimes, depending on who you are, to actually, get it. So I agree. He needs to develop too.
We're getting sneaky deep in the offensive line room, the DB's room, the wide receivers room, the running backs room. Like, we're getting deep.
Well, there's real depth now. We hear it every year. Like, oh, let's compete and the best player is going to win. No, like the wide receiver room, the running back room, linebacker room, everybody, the defensive line room, everybody's going to be forced to compete if you want a spot on this roster this year.
Yeah, you got to compete, but there's still a lot of need for improvement at our right tackle. That's still the one spot. I mean, who was Soto? Was it Soto and oh my God, I'm drawing a mental blank. But they put on a really good show, and they showed all the grades of all the different players. And believe it or not, Parker was the best right tackle that we had last year out of all the guys that went in and at that position. And I still want to see an improvement because last year still wasn't good enough, to keep DC upright with the DNs on the AFC West. We need to get an improvement on that. Otherwise, you're going to be spending the whole time, put a tight end or chipping at the running back, every single play. So if we can get ourselves like maybe Williams from Buffalo, that would definitely be a big upgrade.
Well, even if we
Jack,
have to do these guys in the first half of the season, by the second half, I ain't worried about San Diego. They'll both be out. Okay.
Well, let me know what you guys think. Like, I don't know if you guys can recall back to where Denzel Good swung out to right tackle and actually played
well.
pretty well. And Jermaine Illuminor actually played really well. With this power gap scheme, those are two players. Look, if Brandon Parker is your penciled-in starter, which I don't think he's going to be, I think he's insurance. He's exactly what he is. He's a swing tackle, and he's insurance. So I would not be mad to watch Denzel Good and Jermaine Illuminor compete for that right tackle spot with this power gap scheme because they're not going to be called to do a lot. They're not going to be called to run out and get in space all the time. I would like to see those guys compete at right tackle, and if they do, I'm not too worried about. I think that they're about average right tackles in the National Football League, which is what we're looking for.
I can't disagree with that. I agree with you on it. That's a good call, Ray. I mean, I liked it when he came in, a couple years ago and he filled in at right tackle. He played well, but it'll be interesting to see because I don't know what the Colts ran. Do you guys know what the Colts ran when he was with the Colts? Because I can see him more as a zone blocking right tackle than I do see him, good as a power. But I could be wrong.
What's going on, Rafael?
Good is a big boy though.
What's up, Rafael?
Hey, I just wanted to say that, salute to everybody else because I'm running out of time because right now I have to go to dinner. I always support with everyone else. But,
got that jersey, huh?
Nice.
There you go.
That's it.
There you go.
He's officially on the dark side.
Yes, I'm officially right there. But look, I just wanted to congratulations on the show right there because we still to build that difference right here. And right now it's time for the Raiders time because it's about the offense, the defense, and of course, you can never lie about it because it's about the Raiders and never mess with a black hole.
That's it.
I like it. Don't fire me up. I'm about to go buy a helmet.
Hey, good call, Sean. I like what you just put in there.
No, yeah.
So,
I did see. I see King said that we still need a cornerback, and yeah, we kind of talked about that, about the whole James Bradbury situation, and that's why I said at this point, what do good organizations do? Is they go and get good football players. And I made a video about James Bradbury, and I encourage everybody to go check it out. But when I mention James Bradbury, I'm not mentioning an elite corner. I'm not mentioning some great corner. What he is a good corner, and he's a top 20 corner in the league. And that's someone you go out and get. I mentioned earlier in the stream that 20 corners in the NFL are getting paid an average salary of 10 plus million a year. So if the Las Vegas Raiders go and get James Bradbury on a 2-year deal worth up to $22 million with a void year, can we really complain?
yeah,
You know what I mean?
You ranked what, 9th last year?
Yeah. Okay. So I got the stats here. We'll go over it for King. So I dug a little deep, and versus top 10 wide receivers in the National Football League, James Bradbury was ranked 9th. Okay. He was tied with Denzel Ward, ahead of Jimmy Ward, Xavier Howard, AJ Terrell. So those are extremely notable names. You go a little bit deeper. He's ranked 6th among all DBs for pass defended. So also, only 5 of them are ahead. So listen to these names: J.C. Jackson, Trayvon Diggs, who, by the way, led up 1,000 yards last year that nobody wants to talk about. Yeah, he got the turnovers, but he also led up 1,000 yards. Jalen Ramsey, Marshawn Lattimore, and Anthony Brown. Elite corners. And you're talking about getting somebody for around $10 million who's ranked up in the top 10 when it comes to serious statistical breakdowns. I don't see why it's a big deal. Like I said earlier with OG, a lot of people like to think that it's our money that we're losing, and it's not our money that we're losing. Go pay the man. If you want to win now, go get a good corner. We can't rely on Trayvon Mullen to stay healthy for a full 17 game season. If you're going to rely on Rock Ya-Sin and Anthony Averett and Nate Hobbs, you're relying that all 3 of those guys are going to get hurt. And if they do get hurt, what then? You're really looking for. There's some issues with depth there. Go get a good football player. I don't see what the big issue is.
All right, cool. Well, listen, guys, that's it. I'm going to have to shut down because there's 2 shows coming on. I don't step on toes. We got Captain Jack Rackham and Raiders Fan Radio coming on. Go check them out, whichever ones are your favorites. And
I'll leave it with this real quick. So 2 things. Graham said he wants 4 good corners. We got 3. So right. Bradbury with the 4th. The second part is that Graham does play half, sometimes partial zone, partial man-to-man, which would fit perfect for our Raiders. So, guys, I'll see you on the next live.
Definitely.
Salute, Nation.
Good night, Jack Kenna. And then go check out Raider Ray's channel and subscribe. Check out the content. You'll want to subscribe once you hear what he's bringing. Anyway,
well,
Raider Ray.
Thank you, OG. Shout out to the Raider Nation. I appreciate all you guys. God bless all of you. And yeah, go check out the channel, subscribe, and we're going to be doing some more live content coming soon.
And I will join anytime you want. All right. Awesome. Good night, brothers.
Good night, brother.
Good night.
Take care.
Chat room. Good night, guys. I hope you enjoyed it.